Hey guys, Ashley here with Real Buyers Agency and John L. Scott Bothell, here with your August monthly market update for the residential real estate markets of King and Snohomish counties, Washington. In this video, we will primarily look at the market statistics and contributing data that ran through the month of July, briefly looking at national mortgage interest rates before moving on to look specifically at local data that was sourced directly from the Northwest MLS public releases. In these videos, we try to take the approach of breaking down various key metrics in detail before finally providing a more concise market summary towards the video's end. If you are looking to simply get a quick lowdown on one specific market aspect or a summary of the current market as a whole, please feel free to skip ahead to the relevant section. There are detailed chapters and timestamps provided in the timeline and in the video description below. Okay, that said, let's get started.
Okay guys, as normal, we're going to start this month off once again with mortgage rates. These are the weekly averages for 30-year mortgage rates provided by Freddie Mac. And we began the month July the 2nd. Thursday, July the 2nd was the first end of week measurement we got to work with here, and that was 3.07% was the average. And then from there, it trended down for most of July and briefly popped back up from 2.98% to 3.01% the weekend in July 23rd. But then continue back down at the end of the month, averaging 2.99%. As we're recording this in August, I can tell you that initially we went even lower in August, 2.88%. And then the most recent numbers we have that moved back up slightly, this was the weekend in August the 13th, where it has come back up to 2.96%. But again, still historically, as we just keep saying, month after month after month, historically low averages for mortgage rates. This trend back upwards, though, is interesting. If this holds, it certainly might have an effect on the marketplace in terms of possibly slowing the numbers of new buyers entering the marketplace. Of course, that's speculative, and we'll cover a little bit more of that moving forward here. Okay, then local data. Number of newly active listings for the month of July. King County in July had 4,680 new active listings, and Snohomish had 1,817. This is the green columns. To two decimal places, that means an increase month to month approximately in King County of 13.95% and year over year of about 25.13%. And Snohomish County, that means a month to month change of about 17.68% and year over year a increase of 7.01%. Okay, total active listings charts. In King County, we had 3,877 total active listings in July. In Snohomish, 1,095. And you can see that year over year, that's a substantial decrease, down from 5,725 in King County and down from 2,164 in Snohomish County. So very, very close to having lost a third of inventory in King County year over year and very nearly 50% of total active listings in Snohomish County. But month to month, if you look in King County, we're up from 3,471 to the 3,877. That represents a difference of 11.7%. And in Snohomish, we're up by just literally 2 units, so pretty flat there. So what's interesting about this is that despite this being a record set in July, we are still left with more inventory on the market at the end of the month. But the massive reduction year over year for this season in terms of inventory, alongside those super low interest rates, certainly is helping push prices up and make it really competitive out there. Okay, so quickly here we'll look at our standard pending charts and then move on to our months of inventory chart. Perhaps no big surprise that we've seen an increase year over year in terms of pending sales. In King County, we're up to 4,277, whereas in July 2019, we were up 3,661. And in Snohomish County, we're up to 1,930 versus 2019. July had 1,707 pending sales. This represents increases of approximately 16.83% and 13.06% respectively. Again, this isn't really surprising. Essentially, what's largely happened here is because of so little activity at exactly where we'd normally have the kind of peak season for activity, which would be April through June. Because of COVID-19 this year, there was apprehension in the market, a lot less listings, and even initially buyers were also a little hesitant to come out. Obviously, low interest rates spurred buyers to continue to come out, and there was already a strong demand anyway, relatively. Inventory was already extremely low, even coming into this year. And so what appears to be happening now is that we've almost just kind of delayed and compressed our peak season. So we're seeing essentially kind of the pending numbers now for transactions in King County, Snohomish County, and the Puget Sound Folk County area, kind of around the numbers that we would normally see in May and June. Only recently, since May, really started to ramp up. The numbers we were seeing in May correlate in a standard market more to March and April. So while the statistics on these kind of charts are still valid, I think it's just very important that we try to keep the perspective. This is an anomalous year, and so they can only really tell us so much. We probably don't want to get carried away with the idea that just because the market for any specific month this mid and late summer is booming, that means that these trends will continue for even the next 6 months. It's just not a standard market right now, and so we just need to be very careful. And when we're looking to project things, we just have to be very conscious that perhaps the projection methods we'd use in a standard year also need to be adjusted. Okay, very briefly then, months of inventory. The months of inventory in King County and Snohomish County, as you can see, is slightly down. Looking at the green columns here, slightly down for July 2020. I don't think this is that much of a surprise. Even though we did have an increase of total listings and new listings to the market, the increase in pending rates means that things are going into contract very quickly, and that leaves us now with pretty slim 1.13 months of inventory in King County and a reasonably paltry 0.73 months of inventory in Snohomish County. In both cases, this represents a little shy of a 10% decrease in inventory from the end of June through the end of July. To 2 decimal places, about negative 9.6% in King County and about negative 9.88% in Snohomish County. So median list prices. Median list price in King County was $743,995, and in Snohomish County was $589,500. You can see in both cases, in terms of list prices, they came down. List price in King County came down approximately $26,330 for the median, and that represents month to month a 3.42% change down. And in Snohomish County, the median list price came down $9,500, which represents about 1.59%. So interesting, but then this super busy month, a number of agents actually started to list the prices lower. I mean, they had been on a tear upwards, so just trying to find that sweet spot. You can see that in Snohomish County, this is actually the first drop in the median list price since March. And now finally we come to our all-important median closing sales price chart. You can see that in King County in July, the median price point actually dropped ever so fractionally from $675,000 down to $670,000. But because this is a median chart, I think there's not really that much we can read into that. A variance that small, 0.74%, doesn't account for hardly anything. So we'll just kind of consider that flat lining. Prices just leveled off there. And in Snohomish County, you can see prices have gone up month over month, $24,906, nearly $25,000 since June. And June over May was itself up $28,544, or the equivalent of 5.79%. So both King County and Snohomish counties over this last 2-month period have seen dramatic increases in their median closing sales prices, both in the vicinity of $50,000. Obviously, in percentage terms, that's more dramatic for Snohomish County, but in both cases, they're all-time highs. Like I said, King County this last month just fractionally off that previous all-time high set in June, but Snohomish has gone back-to-back months now, setting all-time median closing sales price highs. So we wait with excitement to see whether it can three-peat, I guess. Whether it will keep this upward streak going, and to what extent, is going to be largely dictated by whether those new listings we've seen come to market, the slight increase in new listings, as we spoke about earlier, keeps up through the month of August, I believe. As even though buyer demand has been clearly extremely strong and inventory is extremely tight right now, the fact that interest rates are starting to trend up fractionally alongside The fact that these prices have already increased so quickly is likely to price some people out of the market or lead to some buyers just putting their searches on pause temporarily due to frustration in the high level of competition. And so it's really going to be dictated by the number of listings that come on. If we get an increase in listings and inventory starts to relax, I think we might start to see these prices level off or even maybe just fall back slightly. But if the inventory remains super low, at these what are normally, by the way, the kind of levels we'd see in the depths of the winter, if that continues or gets exacerbated, then we can expect these prices to keep going up.
So in summary, as 30-year mortgage rates continue their march downward to increasing historical lows, and with property inventory remaining extremely tight, the Puget Sound area achieved the busiest July on record in terms of pending residential real estate transactions. In this bustling environment, closing sales prices in Snohomish County continue to rise to further break median price records, while in King County, closing prices largely sustained, falling off ever so fractionally from a record set in June. As July saw slight increases month to month for both new listings and total active listings on the market, and as interest rates for the first half of August seem to have moved back up slightly, if these trends continue, even if just in the short term, we might project that, even with the hyper-busy nature of the current marketplace, closing prices will simply remain at or near their recent highs. While the potential certainly exists for closing prices to continue trending higher over the next few weeks, we shouldn't necessarily anticipate that. Whether sales prices in the short term rise or fall will largely be decided by whether the marginal recent increases in new listings activity is sustained. With such little inventory out there right now, a very small variance either way in the numbers of total available listings could easily end up moving the needle substantially. Similar to last month, if you are looking to buy right now with financing, you will likely continue to get a great relative interest rate. But again, you'll almost certainly need to continue striking the right balance between remaining calm alongside competing hard against other buyers in the marketplace if you were to make it into contract. If you're looking to sell, the market is evidently hot right now. And even if listed inventory does begin to increase slightly, provided you are listed at the right price point and marketed with a modicum of tact, you'll more than likely be able to sell very quickly while simultaneously achieving an extremely impressive sales price. If inventory trends lower, well, your results could be even better. Okay guys, that does it for the August 2020 market update. As always, please hit the like button if you found this video useful and subscribe to the page or the channel if you wish to be notified of similar future content. Feel free to engage or post questions in the comment section. And as always, I hope this finds you well. Stay safe out there and have a great one.